So, welcome back to Sound Bites, the show about good people doing good things in the local food and drink industry. Today, I have the pleasure of welcoming Leah Veinot from the Discovery Center and Debbie MacDonald, president of the Craft Brewers of Nova Scotia. The Discovery Center and Craft Brewers are coming together for a unique event on June 8th called The Science of Beer. So, welcome, Leah and Debbie.
Thanks for
Thank
hosting.
you.
So, Leah, what motivated the Discovery Center to partner with the craft beer folks for this Science of Beer event?
Yeah, so we're all about science and delivering science education to audiences. We're primarily known for educating youth, but we really wanted to tap into the adult audience and bring back adult events to Discovery Center. We've heard about the Craft Brewers Association of Nova Scotia's reputation. We've seen their events firsthand across the province, and they seem like the perfect opportunity to dive into something new about science, and that was beer. So we're really excited to be partnering with them.
It's amazing, yeah. And having, personally, I entered this world of food and drink via craft beer, and I don't want to actually say that I was pulling grain in 1997, hence the gray hairs. But in that process, gained a lot of respect for both the science and art of brewing. So, Debbie, what ways do you think this event will help educate the public about the brewing process? And there is actual science, the science behind it.
You're absolutely right, Mark. There is a lot of science to it, and it's a perfect marriage of science and creativity. And having a good brew, there's a lot of technique, there's a lot of knowledge, a lot of science in it, and this is a perfect opportunity because people think when you take you can take a home brew kit, and then you're going to make a beer like Garrison. Well, no, it doesn't always work that way. There's actually a lot to it. And this is a perfect educational opportunity that we can educate the public. So people who love craft beer already, people who haven't tried it yet, people that have only tried maybe a little bit, this is a great chance for them to not only sample the different types of beer, because there are different types, but they'll get an idea on what goes into making it that way.
And Debbie, speaking about this, kind of you alluded to, it's not that simple a step to go from making beer at home to making beer at the brewery. I think it's important to tell the story that, many of our brewers are exceptionally well trained, and I dare say there's a probably inordinate amount of engineers that become brewers. But seeing what it takes to make beer, so tell us a little bit about some of the training your members have to do to become brewers, because it isn't, like you say, just some have engineering minds and go from craft, making beer at home, but a lot get a lot of training too, right?
Yep, exactly. Now, not everybody has a background in engineering. It's like any other, I guess, business. You have people that have an interest in it. They have enough of an educational background in it to kind of understand the complexities of it, but not the actual science of it. And they have come up through the industry and learned it on site. But most of them have an engineering or a science background, and they did. Actually, I can even tell you that there's that there is going to be an educational component that you're going to be able to take a diploma program in Nova Scotia in 2026, because the NSCC is launching the very first in the East Coast. East of Niagara, anyway, that you can take a beverage and brewing production program, and there you will. And the prerequisite for that is you do have to have a good science background. But boy, what a difference it's going to make! I think that people can go to school here. But a lot of our producers, they've trained in Europe, they've trained in the States, they've trained in Upper Canada, and a lot of them have had to go away. But at least now, for anyone with an interest in it or for upgrading or whatever, you're going to be able to do that right in Nova Scotia in 2026.
That is super exciting. And I think
Yeah.
we were talking earlier off camera about how important craft breweries are to Nova Scotia because they employ a lot of people collectively. We're talking over 1,000 people, but they also support rural communities and keeping good jobs in Nova Scotia. So if we can get the training in Nova Scotia, keep the jobs in Nova Scotia, it's for all our benefits too.
Absolutely. And I think we need to think of them just like they're breweries, but they are small business, Nova Scotia small business, and local too.
Yeah. So before I segue to Leah, don't forget too, if you can buy direct from your local brewers, buy local beer all the time, but if you can buy direct, even better, because most of the dollars will go to them. So Leah, one of the great things about the Discovery Center is the idea of interactivity between the guest and your attractions. You know, I mean, I can take my kids there. How does this event fit into that broader mission of the Discovery Center?
We're all about inspiring folks of all ages in science, and that comes in several different avenues. You know, some people are interested in mathematics, some people are interested in learning about plants and anatomy, and some people are interested in beer. So it really does flow into the broader mission of us just trying to increase science literacy and inspire people in science in different ways that they might not typically engage, or ways that they're incredibly familiar, but we put a fun twist on it.
Amazing. And for both of you, what are you most looking forward to experiencing at this event?
Well, I know the producers that go thoroughly enjoy it. I mean, any chance they have to showcase their product, they love that. They love engaging and interacting with the public. And I think more than anything, they love the fact that people are really interested in the actual science of it.
I think for me, it's hearing about the breweries and what they're actually cooking up for their stations. So some of them are actually going to have some chemistry sets on site at their booth and be talking about how water makes a difference in the brewing process. A little bit about hops. There's going to be like a master brewing class that they've thought of the history of beer and what innovative processes have been throughout the history of beer making that's led them to their craft today. So they're really, really getting hands-on with it, which we thoroughly enjoy for our guests and for them as well.
I can only imagine you give beer geeks or beer enthusiasts, the brewers, the opportunity to talk about the science of what they do. I'm sure everybody that attends is going to have a lot of good conversation with the brewers, because knowing brewers, they love to tell you how they make a beer. So,
They sure do.
most important question and last one, how does one get tickets and attend?
Tickets are on sale right now. They can go to the discoverycenter.ca. We have a Science of Beer page on our splash page. They can go there and purchase their tickets for the night of.
Amazing. So thank you, Leah. Thank you, Debbie. And I look forward to seeing you at the event. I think it's going to be wonderful. So cheers.
Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers.